This is what the meat looks like, guys. We've got very good quality extra virgin olive oil in the bottom of a pan, enough to coat the bottom, so 3 or 4 tablespoons. We've got 1 onion grated in there, several cloves of garlic grated. You let that hang out over low heat, low and slow, because you want it to become nice and sweet and yummy. A little salt and pepper action. Then you can crank the heat up when you add the ground beef. This is a very light meat sauce. I know that sounds ridiculous, but just a little bit of meat going through the sauce. We're going to make this nice and loose. So I put in 1 pound of ground beef to make a huge pot of sauce. And I like to break it up with a potato masher. Makes quick work of it and just turns it into a little, it looks like grains of sand. I mean, it really does a great job super quick. So, done with that. Now we're going to add more of a slow-cooked flavor by adding a couple of cups of beef stock to this. Again, you're looking for a loose sauce. To that, we're going to add our San Marzano tomatoes. Oh, dummy, why'd I put my potato masher in the sink? Come here, buddy, your work's not done yet. Yeah, it works for tomatoes too, my friends. Breaks up those San Marzano tomatoes instantly. And it's so great because you can get those wonderful, super sweet, that's why you look for them, San Marzanos right in the regular grocery stores today. But if you have a can of any kind of tomato, including stewed tomatoes, in your pantry, feel free to go ahead and use those, kids. 1 28-ouncer plus 1 15-ouncer of diced or crushed tomatoes. It's an enormous amount of sauce, really, when you're done here. You're going to let that simmer together a little bit. I need a few leaves of basil. Grab that out of the fridge. There we go. And I put in 3 or 4 leaves of torn basil, make it nice and sweet. There we go. And then you're pretty much good to go. A little extra salt and pepper action to flavor the tomatoes. Over the shoulder for luck, please. Well, you never know. And that guy's good to go. We're going to let him come up to a bubble. And, of course, it'll continue to cook and marry up their flavors when we get this in the oven as lasagna. Over here, we've got our 4 tablespoons of butter and 4 tablespoons of flour. Oh, we're feeding 6 to 8 adult portions here, so we're making a lot of lasagna because we're going a mile high. So we've got 4 and 4, butter melted to flour, and we're going to add 1 quart of milk. You can make this a little more figure-friendly, guys, if you want to, by adding in half stock, half chicken stock, and then half milk. You whisk that in, and then you let it hang out and thicken up, and you season it up with salt and pepper and nutmeg. That's the key ingredient to the bechamel that makes it so delicious. And it looks like this guy over here. This is what we use instead of ricotta cheese. You know, most people use ricotta and tomato sauce. We layer tomato sauce, pasta, white sauce, pasta, back and forth like that. I grab a little bit of grated cheese here too. And I'm going to show you that on top you can use shredded mozzarella, fresh mozzarella, smoked mozzarella, or you can use a nice tangy provolone. I love provolone on top of this. At the bottom of the pan here, let me show you. Could I be any farther away from the stove? I got to get up close here so I can show you how to layer this all together. So I've got 2 full boxes of the no-bake lasagna. Let me grab a coffee cup to help me out with this. Here's how it goes. I'm going back here. Red sauce on the bottom. No-bake lasagna, and we're going to use 1 full box per loaf pan. Most important thing to remember, line your loaf pans, see here, with foil so that at the end it will help you pull the mile-high lasagna out of the pan. That one literally got a whoa from somebody. She's like, whoa, that's big. Heads up, after you bake these guys, that looks so good. I'm just about ready to just pass out. It looks so good. Once you bake these guys, if you remove them and cut them while they're still hot, your mile-high lasagna will only be a mile high for about 2 seconds, and then it'll be a quarter of a mile. It'll just slide right over. So once you pull it out of the oven, you've got to let it stand and come almost back to room temperature so it can set up. You know what I mean? It can get nice and steady. So when you cut down into that and you serve it, it really is a mile high. Looks beautiful. It's really good to bring to parties. People are like, it's good. Okay, little sprinkle of cheese. And then you guys know how to do this, right? And you're going to have to, heads up, push down every time you go to add another layer because it's hard to fit it all in the loaf pan even. And this particular brand, you end up with 12 sheets, but it'll vary a little bit depending on your brand. And you're going to do 1 box in each of 2 loaf pans. Put it into a moderate oven, cook it 45 minutes to an hour or so till it looks nice and beautiful on top, and you get it.